Residents in this area have been living without proper sanitation for about 3 decades. This 12-year-old girl fell into a pit latrine toilet when she was just 7 years old. A traumatic incident that still haunts her and her parents for a lifetime. The family says they relive the ordeal every day.
I went to see the hole where my daughter fell into. I saw its condition with my own eyes. It was a seat made up with planks, and they were broken, others cracked, but still our kids continued using a toilet like that.
Although the ablution facilities at the school have been upgraded, the entire community still makes use of pit toilets.
It is not a good system at all. It is dangerous. You might fall into it, and our children are the most affected. Even when it rains, it caves in from the sides.
Civil rights organization Mpho says they are going to put pressure on government to speed up the process of phasing out pit latrines.
We are going to make it a point that we expedite this process of eradication of the pit toilets. We are going to do that without any fear. We are going to do that, and we are going to enter each and every department offices to actually unravel, to find out deeper as to why and what makes this whole procrastination around this particular matter.
Local government says the provision of proper sanitation at all communities, including schools, is a joint effort.
There are better sanitation facilities that can be built that could actually replace pit latrine, and I know the department is busy with that.
The Department of Water and Sanitation has already missed numerous deadlines for eradicating the bucket system, and there is seemingly no end in sight. Mpho Lepedi, SABC News, Mahikeng village near Mahikeng.
Let's get more on this now. We cross over to our reporter, Mpho Lepedi, who is at Mahikeng village in the northwest. Mpho, good morning to you. It's over to you.
Thank you very much, Leanne. Good morning to you and the viewers at home. We are in Mahikeng village, just near Mahikeng. This is one of the areas that are still using pit toilets. I did, Leanne, take some time to walk around this area, and I can attest that no house has a flushing toilet, not even a bucket system. They are all using pit toilets. And as you know, Leanne, even Stats SA did mention that about 1.7 million South Africans are still using pit toilets, and many of them do not have proper sanitation. If it's not pit toilet, it is a bucket system. To paint a vivid picture of how the people of Mahikeng village are living around this area, I have a panel of 3 people. I have a guest here who is Mayor Mpho, who is a community member in this area, and I also have Vincent Dilalian, who is a provincial executive member of SANCO here in the Northwest Province, and also we have Pahudi Mutoko, who is the HOD of the Department of Corporate Governance here in the Northwest. Of course, we can say local government, and just to get a clear picture of how the community is surviving with these pit toilets, and they have been using these pit toilets for 3 decades now, as my colleague Mpho Lepedi mentioned there. And this is the same area, Leanne, where a 12-year-old learner fell into a pit toilet at the school when she was 7 years old. And I will just speak to Mayor Mpho just to explain to us how are they surviving these ablution facilities here in this village. Mama, thank you very much for talking to us. O ka re bolella fela gore jaaka le tsweletse go ka dirisa jalo di toilet tsa misima le khona jang ka tsone?
Ga re khone ka re ka nako nngwe ha e tletse e nna bothata ba gore jaanong o e sutisa jang. Ka nako ha dipula di na yana di na le go cracka be di ra misima ka morago. Ene gape monkolo no teng wa gore ga re na gore re ka tshela eng gore re fokotse monkgo le nteng. Go ne mathata re na lone ka di toilet tsa rona.
There was Mayor Rankwane Lian explaining that it is a problem for them to use these pit toilets, highlighting that in most cases they even have to use chemicals to clean this toilet. And of course, this brings us to the health risks that are posed to these community members if they have to use certain chemicals, of which most of them tend to be harsh. And she's also explaining that it's often a problem when it's raining. These toilets really, they are not that deep, if one can say. It's quite a challenge for them. Hence, we even had a case in this village of Elena having fell into that pit toilet. But also, SANCO has spoken, like they said, they would put pressure on the government to ensure that pit toilets are eradicated. But I will be speaking to Vincent Dila, who is the PEC member of SANCO here in the province, to explain further to us. Thank you very much, Mr. Dila, for you also for joining us. If you can just explain, in most cases, people would ask, why are people still building these pit toilets? Just paint that picture for us.
No, thank you very much, and very good morning to you and the viewers at home. We must indicate that, as you would know, our people are grossly indigent. They don't have the means, to have these toilets which are actually flushable. And that's the reason. But second to that, it is the reluctance of government, to upgrade the lifestyle of our own people. I'm saying this thing because even those who can afford, you don't have an underlying infrastructure, you don't have a bulk water supply, a bulk sanitation infrastructure. So it's a challenge to our own people, even if in the exception of government, they can actually make means to improve their own lives. Seemingly it's a bit difficult for them to attain to that particular.
Now, Mr. Dila, looking at your expectations from the government, what are you expecting the government to do? Especially today that the president will be giving his SONA speech. What are you expecting from the government in terms of sanitation?
Look, sometimes some of these issues that we are faced on daily basis with, they do not necessarily need the president. For an example, people of this village are actually responsible to your Mahikeng municipality. The very municipality which we are seated with a case of VBS, the money which was taken from these people to VBS is the money that would actually help in upgrading the lifestyle of our people here in this village and in Mahikeng as a whole. You can see the situation is upholding our roads, our potholes in Mahikeng, the standard of living, and somebody sitting there, a person with his own and her own officials who took this money. They are left unattended, they are immune, they are better than these poor people. And it's so heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking, and we are going to ensure. Let us not, put much of the pressure on some of the things that the ANC in this province, that the people of this province can resolve on their own. Yes.
That was Vincent Dila, the PEC member of SANCO here in the Northwest, explaining that most of the finances that are put aside for sanitation perhaps tend to be misused. Quoting there or even highlighting a VBS case, of which Mahikeng local municipalities was one of the municipalities that used VBS to put certain amount of money there. And of course, explaining further that the people of villages like this, Lian, cannot afford to have flushing toilets. Hence, most of them resort to pit latrines. Most of them resort to these pit toilets, mainly because they do not have even enough bulk water to ensure that they have flushing toilets. I would, of course, go to Mr. Paudi Mutoko, who is the HOD of Corporate Governance here in the Northwest Province. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. If you can explain, what is the government? Let's talk about the eradication of pit toilets. Is this a goal that can be reached?
Good morning to you and the viewers. And just for correction, my name is Pihadu Mutoko. Yes. This is a goal that the government have set itself, that it will eradicate the pit toilets in the country. It will improve sanitation in the country. And we are here, we are talking about the backlog that we have inherited in the past years, where we don't have enough infrastructure in areas like this one, where we don't have bulk water, bulk sewer, we don't have running water. On top of that, we are also a water scarce province. But as a province and as a government, we are committed to eradicate this. Our municipalities are working very hard to make sure that they provide a proper and better sanitation to our people. All the municipalities have got programs to eradicate the pit latrines that you are talking about that are dangerous, where our children will fall, and so on. And they are replacing, at the moment, there are projects that are ongoing, particularly in this particular district of Ramatlabama, to replace these pit latrines, this dangerous one, with ventilated, improved pit latrines, which are better, they are safer, and they also do not contaminate the underground water. That project is ongoing, and there's a lot of money that has been committed to that project, such projects across the province. So indeed, the government is doing something to eradicate this.
That was Mpho Lepedi, who is the HOD of corporate governance here in the Northwest Province, explaining that they do have certain programs to ensure that these toilets are eradicated. And this is just the scenario, Leanne, that I can give to you, that there are villages here in the Northwest that are still using pit latrines. But for now, back to you in studio.